So, making an Iron Maiden. I started off with this little USB connector and just added it to a base, and I think, as I said in the community challenge, that pretty much did the job for me. I think that was, I could see it straight off. I added a little wheel hub there that I snipped out of a car, plastic car, and then I decided to take the brief a little further and basically built a kind of a larger environment for it to go in. This notion that this was like an object of veneration or something, and perhaps it was hanging over some sort of lava pit, maybe inside a deep dungeon somewhere. I've got some magnets recently, and I was decided I wanted to have a quick play with those so that I could have wings on or off those. I did have a little bit of faff with those. That's the first set of wings. I actually went with some slightly larger wings due to having to mount the magnets. But here it is, started to be painted up. So that's just hit with some black and some Rust-Oleum orange. And I tried using this, it's quite hard bit of sponge, and it really didn't work the way that I was hoping. I think I was hoping I was going to get some sort of marbling effect, but it didn't. In the end I used one of these makeup sponges. Yeah. So again, I wasn't sure how this was going to work out. I've never done anything like this before. I'd masked it all with little bits of masking paper. I thought it was going to take forever, but actually I realised every time I cut a square out of the masking paper I could use it as the next row, so that was pretty good. I think I could have been a little more exact in my masking, but it was kind of fun to see it all revealed. I did sand down some of the more hard colours. I started to play around with some acrylic marker pens as well, and so some of the colour you can see on the skulls is actually just done with those acrylic marker pens. You can see them in the background of the shot. Here is one. But also I added some cobwebs, and I've been looking around at different techniques for doing cobwebs, and they all seemed far too difficult for my big fingers and thumbs. But I found this Wonderweb stuff, and it lived up to its name. I just basically took that and stretched it out a bit. It tears quite easily, so you've got to be quite precise. But even the tears help a little bit sometimes, and you can see here that even just quickly like that, it starts to take on the look of webs. I actually used glue to kind of like fix it at various points, and then dragged it around, tearing it and dragging it around, and again adhering it with a little bit more glue. When you touch it as well, it's not as delicate as some of the other techniques I've heard people say, where it's only for display only, and I wanted this to be for a game board, so people can touch this and it'll just bounce back, so that's pretty good. So that's it. I added all the pipes at the back of the Iron Maiden where the blood drains out, and that had quite a nice effect once the wings go back on. And you can see with these larger wings that those pipes at the back actually start to look like a bird's tail. That was just an accident really, but I was really pleased with that. Yeah, you can see it just as it passes here, like that. It's got a kind of a silhouette of a bird as it goes by. So I don't know if that's going to add anything into the lore, but it might do. The wings are obviously, just movable, or can be just taken off at the beginning of the game, so the wings might appear halfway through the session at this point, so pleased with that. I wasn't sure what the goal of the thing could be, whether you have to open up the Iron Maiden to take something out of it, or all the time it's trying to draw you into its clutches, maybe. Here's some shots of those webs again, where the skeletons are and the skulls, and you can see them on the back there. I added this little flower because I was thinking maybe this could be the girl, maybe the object is you're trying to capture this flower that's maybe some magical object. Maybe it's been taking on the life force of all the people that have been put in the Iron Maiden so far. I'll probably try and write something up about how this can be used in an adventure at some point, and maybe revisit it when that's complete. But until then, these are the kind of final shots of it all, and yeah, I guess this is the bit at the end with the call to action. So, if you like it, like and subscribe, and eventually we'll get around to this.